Hey, Rob here for Quadratec. Today we're going to be walking through the installation steps for a Mastertop complete soft top for the 2018 and newer Jeep Wrangler JL Unlimited. The Mastertop complete top is a full replacement style top, meaning that it's a perfect option for you if you've previously only had a hard top installed on your Jeep, or maybe your factory top that you've had for many years now is getting worn and tattered and it's time for a fresh update. The Mastertop Complete Top is available in your choice of either the black diamond fabric or the ultra premium Mastertwill fabric. The first step to get our new top installed is to start by unpacking the box. I like to work in a nice, clean, open area so I can lay everything out and get familiar with where the components are going to be installed and ensure that I have everything needed to complete the installation. Whenever you're installing a new soft top, you want to make sure you're doing so on a warm day, outside in direct sunlight if possible. All that new material is going to be very tight, and by doing it in the direct sunlight on a warm day, it's going to help that material to relax so that you're not fighting it as you're stretching it over the frame. It's a great idea to lay the different pieces of soft top material and even the soft top windows out in the sun for a few hours before you begin your installation. Before we can begin installing the soft top onto the vehicle, we do have some minor assembly of our door surrounds required. So I've grabbed our driver's side rear door surround, both the upper and the lower portion of the surround. Now you can assure that you have the correct components here because the profiles of the vertical leg and the upper portion are going to match each other. Another way to ensure that you've got the correct matching components here is this kind of dog leg. This foot here on the vertical component is going to go in the same direction as this tailpiece here on the upper part of the door surround. I'm going to go ahead and turn them over so that we can get them assembled. Now, depending on how yours came out of the box, you may have your hardware located in a hardware bag, or it may already be pre-installed right here in the bottom of the upper portion of our door surround. We'll go ahead and just remove these two screws with our 4mm Allen wrench. Now, you do want to ensure that this seal stays seated correctly during the assembly of the two components. You're going to match the tab on the lower portion with the upper portion here, making sure that we're not pinching that seal in any way. And then we'll go ahead and get these two screws started into place. And then I'm just going to use my 4mm Allen head socket here to run these in. Now, with the upper and lower portion assembled, before we can move on, you do want to ensure that all of the brackets that come pre-attached to your door surrounds are loose from the factory. Things like our clamps here that clamp the door surround to the sport bar. As you can see, they should all be loose. If we turn this surround over, if they are tight out of the box, just go ahead and grab that 4mm Allen wrench and just loosen all of these up just slightly. As you can see, there's a lot of movement in these brackets, and you want everything to be loose while we're completing the install so that you can get a good and proper fitment of the soft top on your Jeep. Now, with these loosened, I'm going to go ahead and grab the forward portion of the door surround, ensure that all of those components are loose as well, and then we can move on to installing that onto the Jeep. A new soft top can have a lot of different parts and components to it. It's a good idea to familiarize yourself with all of those different pieces before you begin your install. Go ahead and lay everything out so you can take a good look at all of the different components to your soft top, as well as familiarize yourself with the instructions. This is also the perfect time to ensure that you're not missing any pieces before you begin your install. Now, the first piece of the door surround that we're going to install onto the Jeep are the front portions of the door surround. We can go ahead and line this up with our sport bar and the existing gaskets on your Jeep. Now, you want to ensure that the front portion sits in this little cup of this gasket here, and the rear portion in the B-pillar gasket. You want to make sure that none of these get folded over or pinched in any way, because that will be a source of leaks from your soft top. So you want to just pay close attention that all the gaskets are where they should be, and then we can go ahead and grab two of the long threaded knobs to secure the door surround in place. Again, remember, we've got a lot of adjustment in all of our clamps here to allow for proper fitment of the door surround on your specific Jeep. Go ahead and get those knobs started up, and then we'll go ahead and tighten those all the way down. Well, moving on to the rear door surround, it's going to install just like that front door surround. Set this forward portion into this cup provided by the B-pillar gasket here, and then get everything roughly lined up. Now there is a locating pin on the bottom side of this vertical support leg that's going to fit right into our existing hole here on the body tub. But I actually find it easier if we kind of leave this vertical leg kicked out away from the body while we get our knobs started here through the sport bar clamps. If you worry about getting everything lined up perfectly, it can sometimes be pretty hard to get these screws threaded into place. So we'll go ahead and start by getting each one of these knobs threaded in loosely. We'll leave that loose, do the second screw, get that one started. Now we still have a lot of play here. Now we're going to pick up this rear leg, swing that into place until we feel it lock in with that hole on the body tub. Then we can come back and tighten down each of our door surround knobs. Now finally, the last thing to check here before we move on is to make sure that this gasket is over top of the gap between the front and the rear door surround. To make sure that it's seated in place, you're good to go. Now the last thing for us to do here on the rear of the driver's side of the vehicle is to get our rear corner mount installed right on top of the body tub here. It's going to go right over top of all of your existing weather seals. We'll simply line up this tab here with the hole in the body tub. You'll feel it kind of lock right into place. Grab one of the short threaded knobs and secure that into place. Just spin that right down, locking that mount to the top of your body tub. And then we can go ahead and repeat all those same steps for the door surrounds and rear corner mount over on the passenger side of the Jeep. Now we can get our rear leg brackets attached to the sport bar here on both the driver and passenger side. If your Jeep has never had a soft top previously installed, you're going to have some trim pieces covering these mounting points, so simply pull those trim pieces out of the way. You're not going to need those anymore. Since this Jeep has previously had a soft top installed from the factory, these trim pieces are not present on this Wrangler. With those removed, we can go ahead and hold up our leg bracket. Now you know you have this in the correct position when this cup here with the pin holding the leg is facing up, allowing the leg to curve over top of the sport bar. Now we can go ahead and get these attached with the hardware provided. A soft top as well as the frame can be large and awkward to handle by yourself. So having a friend around to help with your install can make it go that much smoother. Not only will it be much easier to lift that soft top and frame up onto your Jeep and back off if you need to, but having a second pair of hands around to help with different parts of the install is going to take a lot of the frustration out of installing your new soft top on your Wrangler. Now at this point, we're ready to start attaching the soft top fabric and support bows that are previously installed by the factory to our rear leg bracket and then onto the door surround. I've set the soft top here upside down with the rear legs facing me. This is so we can start to flip it forward and get it into the correct orientation. Now there's going to be a screw and a lock nut installed from the factory on each of these leg support brackets. Go ahead and remove those first. And then we can swing these rear support bow bracket legs up into place. Aligning them on the inside of both of the support brackets. Then we can secure them with the screw and the lock nut we just previously removed. You want to make sure not to over tighten those screws, as these rear legs do still need to move. Next, we can flip over and reveal the next bow in the soft top. And for this, we're going to pull the pins and lower the rear legs down. Now we'll start by removing the hardware that was installed at the factory. You want to make sure that this rear bow gets installed on the outside edge of this bracket, and the curve of the bow at this point should be curving up. When we flip it forward, that's going to curve down to give the shape to the soft top. We can insert the hardware from the back side of the bracket and then set the bow down on top of that hardware and secure it in place with the two lock nuts. Now we're ready to go ahead and install the two center support bows to the door surrounds. Center bow number 1 is going to install over top of the soundbar just behind the driver and passenger front seats. And we can get that started by pulling this plunger and locking it to the bracket here on the door surround. Now remember, these brackets are very loose at this point, giving us plenty of adjustment to get these locked into place. Center bow number 2 is going to install on the rear bracket here, just over top of our rear seat passengers. Go ahead and get them clipped in the other side, and then we can come back and tighten these down into place. This is also a great time to go around and tighten all of the bolts for the clamps that secure the door surrounds to the sport bar. Once everything's tight, we can now go ahead and lift the SoftTop up into place, stretching the fabric all the way forward to over top of our front seats. With the SoftTop material pulled all the way forward, we can go ahead and connect the SoftTop header bow with the support arms to the forwardmost bracket on our door surround. I've already clipped in the one on the driver's side. We can align this one here on the passenger side. Once those are clipped in place, now we can go ahead and grab our 4mm Allen wrench and tighten this bracket down. And at this point, we should be able to grab the SoftTop header bow and the SoftTop material and fold everything forward, watching your hands. We should be able to close that down against the windshield. Now we can go down inside and latch it into place. Now with our windshield latches closed, next we can look up on the inside of the top. We're going to find a series of flaps with some hook and loop fasteners attached. Open those up, and we're going to wrap those around, securing the top material to the first, second, and third SoftTop support bows. Now, at this point, you've basically completed the installation steps needed to get the top installed on the vehicle. You can use your complete top in this configuration, sort of a safari style top, giving you shade for your front and rear seats, as well as here in the back of your Jeep in the cargo area. The next step to move on to is to close out the SoftTop with the installation of the 3 rear windows. We also need to make sure that you tuck in this small tab on top of the B-pillar area of the Jeep. If we lift up the edge of the top, we'll see this small tab sewn in, and there's a bracket here on top of our door surround. Go ahead and tuck that into place, ensuring that the edge of the SoftTop is tucked into the drip rail of your door surround. Now the next step is to go ahead and grab your rear quarter side window, and I like to start by first flipping up the rear edge of the SoftTop here. Underneath, you're going to find a tab with some hook and loop fastener. There's also a matching tab here on the window. Go ahead and stick that in place, and that's going to hold the window for you while you complete your install. Now we can lift up the edge of the SoftTop closer to the front edge of our window to reveal the zipper. Go ahead and get the zipper started in place. And then we can close the zipper all the way to the back of the top. Next, we'll insert the tab sewn on the leading edge of the window into the slot provided here in the door surround. Work your way down. We'll find a similar tab sewn on the bottom edge of the window. We can tuck that into the belt rail attachment here on the body of the Jeep. And then we can come back and close this flap of the SoftTop to the hook and loop fastener on the window. Now I'm going to leave the rear corner up, and we're not going to worry about tucking the rear corner of the window into place yet. We're going to go ahead and get the passenger side installed and then move on to installing the rear window. To get our rear window installed, we'll start by sliding the window into the C-channel sewn in the top rear edge of the SoftTop. Simply align the rear window and slide it across. Once you have the window centered in the channel, go ahead and tuck the window into the frame of the rear bow assembly. Next, we need to install the tailgate retainer bar to the lower edge of the window. Again, we're going to slide the C-channel of the bar here into the strip sewn on the bottom edge of the rear window. And we'll want to make sure that the rubber weather seal is at the bottom facing out. This is going to provide the seal to close the tailgate against, giving us a weatherproof seal with this rear window installed. Next, we'll grab our driver's side window, and we want to make sure that we tuck this plastic support into the channel provided on the rear support bow. With the window tucked in place, we can now push it up on top of the rear bracket mounted on the body tub, which is going to lift that window up into place. allowing us to align the zipper. Start the zipper a couple of inches, and then we can attach the hook and loop fastener on the tab zone at the top edge of the side window, and then repeat those same steps on the opposite side. With both tabs secure, now we can fold down the top corners of the soft top, and now we're ready to roll the tailgate retainer bar into the brackets on the body tub. Simply start by lining them up and then roll them, pushing that bar right into place on the brackets. At this point, we can go ahead and finish closing out the zipper on our window and finish tucking the side windows into the belt rail attachment, as well as the additional tab here on the rear window. And finally, at the rear corner of our side window. Secure all the hook and loop fasteners. Repeat the same on the passenger side. One final tip for you: once you've completed the installation of your soft top on your Wrangler, you'll want to leave it in the closed position with all of the windows installed in the top for a couple of days. By doing so, it's going to help all that new material, and especially the windows, to slightly relax and stretch under the tension of being in that closed position. If you've got a garage where you normally keep your Jeep, you'll want to leave it parked outside during this time period, especially if you've got some nice, warm, sunny days. It's just going to help speed up the process of relaxing that fabric. Now, by doing so, it's going to make owning and operating your new soft top that much easier and more enjoyable. Now, at this point, with all three windows installed, your soft top is completely closed out, ready to keep you and your passengers protected from the elements all year long. Now, in addition to be able to run the top without the windows in that safari style top that I showed you earlier, you also have a couple options for quickly opening the top area of the top to give you an open view of the sky. Simply open the two latches over the windshield and throw back the top, opening up the area over the driver and passenger seat. Now, if you push back on the #1 support bow as you open this up, you'll open it just a bit farther than that first position. Now, if you'd like to open the top up for your rear seat passengers as well, it's as simple as removing the two quick release pins on these soft top header support arms. And then as we work our way back, we'll remove the pins on the support bow #1, and following the support bow #2, fold the soft top in an accordion fold over the rear cargo area, and then we'll reattach these soft top header support arms to the rearmost bracket on the door surrounds above the rear seat passengers. In this configuration, you've now opened up the top over not only your front, but also your rear seat as well. We have one final option, and that's to go ahead and completely remove all three rear windows. We can then release those quick release pins on the soft top header on top of the door surround that we just attached. As well as coming around to the back of the Jeep, we can pull the two pins on the rear support arms so that we can lower the top all the way into the fully open position. At this point, you will want to secure the soft top down with the two provided straps so that it doesn't move around as you're driving down the road. With the top fully retracted and secured there in the cargo area, you've converted your Wrangler to a completely open air vehicle for you and all of your passengers' enjoyment. Now, if you want to get more information or to purchase a Mastertop complete soft top for your 2018 or newer Jeep Wrangler JL Unlimited in either the black diamond or the ultra premium MasterTwill fabric, you can click that info button to head over to Quadratec.com. Of course, if you have any comments or questions about your new top or how to get it installed on your Jeep, you can always leave those for me down in the comment section below, or contact us directly at any of the options on the screen. As always, if you haven't already and you like these videos, do me a huge favor, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification icon, so be sure to catch all of our latest videos. Till next time, I'm Rob. I'll see you out on the trail. And now we're ready to roll the tailgate retainer bar into the brackets on the body tub. Line them up and simply roll them. We're ready to install the tailgate retainer.